G'day everyone, I hope you're all well. As you may know, Mr Williams and myself are putting together some activities every Friday on the portal for the Outdoor Read from Home series that we do. This week is focusing on National Tree Day, and so what I thought I'd do is make a little video and pay close attention to the birds that live in these trees and see if I can scout out some of the important trees near my place. So what I'll do now is take you on a bit of a journey in my backyard and across the road and see if we can find some cool stuff. Take you on a journey now just out front of my house and go and visit the path. But I've got my trusty bird watching companion just here, which is Molly. Here, Mol. So just along this path near my house, there's the little sand dune just here that's exposed. A few tree roots, but also there's the little hole just there. Now some people might think that that's a snake hole, but in fact it's actually a burrow for a spotted pardalote. I'm trying to see if I can hear them now, but they are quite shy and a little elusive. But they are very, very pretty birds. So if you see these holes, they might in fact be home to a bird, so be very careful not to trample on top of them. Just above you can hear a red wattlebird squawking, just there. And these birds are honey-eater birds, and they're one of the largest type of honey-eaters in Australia. They're also very aggressive, and you might see them chasing other smaller birds around. Now you may have seen some of these trees around at your house, and these are very special trees. They're called casuarinas or she oaks. Now in Melbourne, when the Europeans first came here, they actually cut them all down to use as firewood and to use in their factories. And so a lot of them were actually taken away and gone. But over the years they've started to be replanted and started to get a little bit bigger, which is really good to see. You can tell that they're she oaks by the way that they droop down like that. And if you see them with orange, tinges of orange on them, if you look close enough, you actually find that they're actually flowering and not decaying. If you look down here, there's the little nuts, the fruit that grow on top of these. Okay, there's one type of bird that actually eats these. It crushes them with their very strong beak, and they're the glossy black cockatoos. They're actually endangered birds, but since the big fires over the summer in East Gippsland, they've actually begun to migrate over to Melbourne, and some have been seen close by feeding on the she oaks around certain neighbourhoods and parks in the outskirts of Melbourne. This is another really special tree. This one's called a manna gum, which you might have around your house. Now this manna gum is favoured by certain animals, particularly birds and possums. A lot of ringtail possums actually run through this tree. But if you look closely on the leaves, you can see these little white specks just there. That's what's called a lerp. Now what the lerp is it's a little psyllid bug which actually hops on and then sucks out the sap of the leaf and then poos out this stuff called honeydew, and then creates a full igloo, okay, for it to live under and protect itself. Now if I was to pick that off, there'd be a little bug just underneath. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for the birds, because a lot of the honey eaters and a lot of the birds will come and eat this stuff, okay, and that's a big part of their diet. Indigenous people used to eat this too, and you can eat it and it can be like a sweet kind of treat. But keep in mind that it did come out of a little insect bum. Now the reason why so many birds live here, especially lorikeets and minor birds, is because these trees here have been able to grow so tall and so big. This is called a Banksia tree. They typically grow in coastal regions and also in inland. But when they get older, they start to drop limbs. And when the limbs drop, they form these little hollows like that, and all around the tree which the birds live in. And sometimes they fight over who gets to live where, which you'll often see between certain native birds like the lorikeets, and then the Indian miners will come and try and fight them out to get there.